Since I've begun this whole journey of getting my blood sugars under control, it's put me in touch with a lot of new people through social media and people who are diabetic in my day-to-day life or know someone who's diabetic, whether it's Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. That offers two things. One is great support, and two is answering a lot of questions or a lot of topics being raised that you don't really think about or know a lot about, and you wouldn't just think to go and Google it or read a book on it, anything like that. One of these things is sleep. A couple of days ago I came across this and it got me thinking about some questions and looking for some answers, which set off the whole thing and led up to this video a week later. Waking up with high blood sugar is definitely in the top 5 of the most challenging parts of diabetes. It's draining, it's exhausting, it's frustrating. It's literally just hard to get out of bed, let alone go on and just carry on with the rest of your day, because there is no day off of diabetes. You don't just wake up and think, forget it, done, can't be bothered, it's high, I'm going back to bed, see you tomorrow. All you can do is kind of just face it head on, correct, and take on the rest of the day. The reason it can be so frustrating and so mentally draining is because it can seem like there's just no reason behind it at all. Sometimes there might not be, but for the majority of the time, like 98% of the time, there is a reason. So knowing them reasons is definitely going to help keep your blood sugars down and keep them within range in the morning, which is just going to put you in a much better mood. You're going to feel better mentally and physically, and you'll be ready to take on the rest of the day. When you start high, you're starting on the back foot, and you're starting off up against the wall. It's a lot harder to start the day. That's the key area to get in control if you want to get your overall blood sugars in control. So let's have a look and see how we can correct it, how we can keep it down. Before we do, let's look at the reasons on why your blood sugar is probably high first thing in the morning. The first reason that your blood sugar might be high first thing in the morning is your bolus or your long-acting insulin. If you're used to adjusting the amount of insulin that you inject, then you might want to try just adding 1 or 2 units. Because obviously it's long-lasting, so it's going to be over 24 hours, but the blood glucose reading that you get in the morning is from fasting, so it's probably nothing to do with food or diet or drink or carb counting or anything like that. It's probably the long-lasting insulin that's the problem. So try giving a few more units, but bear in mind, if you're active throughout the day, that's going to have a great impact. So you might want to reduce the amount that you administer with meals, or maybe speak to somebody and snack during the day, a bit of fruit, something like that. The second reason why it might be hard to keep your blood sugars within range first thing in the morning is lack of sleep. Now that sounds crazy, but when you have lack of sleep and you wake up tired, your liver is kind of like self-programmed to wake you up with a bit of a jolt. So it's kind of like jump starting a car or using defibrillators. When you wake up tired, and the second you wake up, your blood sugar is just going to pump out some glucose. The idea being, obviously, it pumps out some glucose, and in a non-diabetic person, that's going to be transported around the body, and it's going to be, sugars are going to be transported into muscles and your other organs, and that's going to wake you up for the day. The problem is, when you're diabetic, you haven't got that insulin in your body to just adjust, and your pancreas isn't producing more insulin when your liver is producing more glucose. The third point is that when you're asleep, your body produces a lot of hormones, including growth hormones, and growth hormones are one of the worst things for messing about with your blood glucose as well, simply because your liver is going to produce glucose again for that growth hormone and to prompt growth in your body. So your liver, although it can be your best friend, can also be a bit of a pain in the backside as well. So knowing them 3 reasons on why your blood sugar might be high first thing in the morning, it's easy to look at different ways to get your blood sugar within range. Number 1, increase the amount of long-lasting insulin that you use, but again, be very careful, especially you think about whether you're going to be active the next day, if you're going to be doing a lot of physical activity. You're going to have to bear in mind that you've got a lot more longer lasting insulin in your bloodstream. If you're only getting a few hours sleep of the night and you're waking up really groggy and really tired, it's really hard for you to get up in the morning, you're probably going to have to get a bit more sleep. Having more sleep of the night, you're going to wake up more refreshed, and your liver's not going to have that jolt of the glucose around your system. Myself personally, I only get like 3 or 4 hours sleep every night. I know I look great, but I just don't need beauty sleep, so I function quite a bit, which is fine for me during the day. I don't genuinely get tired, I stay up late and I get up early for work. So although it doesn't affect the rest of my day, it really does affect first thing in the morning. That's where my blood sugar spikes come from. So I'm usually around 12, 14, sometimes 16 when I get up. Occasionally it will be within range, but that's when I've had a better night's sleep, when I'm getting like a good 7 or 8 hours. So that is key. I hate even saying that because I'm not a big fan of sleep. I love my bed. My bed's so comfy, but I'm just not a big fan of sleep. Something I'm working on is getting more sleep. Unfortunately, the growth hormones, that's just going to be one of the things you have to ride out. The two people who are affected by it most are obviously going to be teenagers going through a growth spurt, and obviously young children as well as bodybuilders or people who are just trying to bulk a little bit. Because you're exercising and you're tearing that muscle fibre, there is a lot of growth hormones that are released overnight that are going to help build your body. You probably already know if you're trying to get in shape and trying to bulk up or bodybuild, then you do need to get more sleep. So obviously that's going to help bring it down. But other than that, if you're going through a growth spurt, just expect those peaks in blood sugars in the first thing in the morning. Don't let it crush you. Don't let it get on top of you. It's just one of those things, and after a while, it's just going to level out and you're going to be fine. Hit that peak where your body stops producing all these growth hormones overnight. Unfortunately, take it with a pinch of salt and just work on correcting it and bringing it down. Don't let it beat you. If you're ever really affected by high blood sugars first thing in the morning, smash that like button, take out that anger on it. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to click and subscribe, give the video a like, and even share it. Help other diabetics out there as well. A lot of people with diabetes suffer in silence. They don't have other people around, any family or friends who know a lot about diabetes. So help them out. You never know who this video is going to help. Just give it a like, give it a share. Subscribe to see more videos in future. There's a lot of things going on. I'm going to share a lot more, as much as I can. But if you have any questions or there's anything you want to know, feel free to comment below or tweet me, and I'll do what I can. Much love.